This is the Mariners POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Seattle Mariners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Okay, I'm doing you guys all a favor, but I want to tell you how tempted I am to just start twerking in front of the camera. Because big effing dumper. Let's go. I'm going to make sure. It's a great one, Agent Michael Scarn. That's a great one. I'm going to make sure you guys don't see that. But my God, I had to really stop myself because I was feeling it. I was feeling it. What a win, man. Wow. The Mariners did not deserve to win this game. They still won this game. That's, 5 in a row now?
That is correct.
And that is 7 of 8, I want to say.
So. Yeah.
7 of 8. Let's go.
That deadline deal. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just enjoying this. Mariners POSTCAST here. Anderson Hurst, Chris Crawford right here with you. We go live right after every single Mariner baseball game. We break down the game that you just watched on the Locked On Mariners YouTube channel. Go ahead and like the video right now because let's keep the vibes going, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like just like the video for that and nothing else. We don't care about us. We care about keeping the vibes going. So we're going to talk about that big dumper home run. We're going to talk about Luis Castillo's start and the rest of this, game. But it's those two things that are really the big story of this game. Of course, to our unsung hero / villain, Chris Crawford. Initial thoughts.
I try not to get too hyperbolic, even though we are just reacting to
That's what we do.
One game, right? Just the one moment. But I'm struggling to think of a homer that was more cathartic than big dumpers. I'm struggling to think
this
of
season.
Just like the season and just that swing of the bat off of I'm watching it right now. It's such a solid pitch from a really good pitcher, man. This is huge. This is huge. This is, we talked about the win yesterday and maybe we were a little too negative about it, but they didn't play well in that game.
Yeah.
And it kind of felt like, okay, you know what? Today was the day that, the breaks don't go their way.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was like, okay, you're not going to win every single baseball game.
You can't win every game. I was totally prepared for this to be like, Anders, we can do this video in like 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, the offense didn't show up. Castillo pitched well. Vargas did his job, but, some days you just don't have it. We could maybe talk about what's the concern here with no Josh Naylor, but Donovan Solano played a pretty good game, blah, 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 out, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Gametime. Thank you to our sponsors, but we could have been Audi 5000 real quick tonight. But nope, big dumper had something else to say, man. And I know he has particularly struggled compared to what his season has been before that. But people have to struggle. This sport would suck if people didn't struggle. It would be 162 games of having the exact same level of play would be boring as hell, right? Big dumper, man. That's a special baseball player. And that is, I talked about it yesterday, those are the games you win and you look back on. This is a game you will look back on.
There's been a lot of those recently, it seems like.
A ton of them. And that was just an awesome moment to make sure that Luis Castillo didn't come up with an L.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's get right into Castillo. We'll get into dumpers, homer in a second, but we always start with the start because, man, did this game start with a good start. Luis Castillo, the Rock, gets through 7 innings, 2 runs, both just solo homers, and maybe one of them. Yeah, no comment. The Junior Caminero one, that's just a great baseball player.
Sure.
Really good baseball player. Not even a bad pitch, to be honest. He just went up and got that.
Yeah.
But other than that, Castillo was fantastic tonight. And he was fantastic on what seemed like not his best stuff. He had like 93, 94 in his fastball today. It seemed a couple ticks down, and he still ends up, borderline dominating this lineup.
Yeah. Yeah. If you pitch 7 innings of 2 solo homers, and it should have been 1 solo homer, if we're being completely honest with that. I mean, that was just a good right fielder should make that play.
Yeah.
A decent right fielder should make that play. Right. Only the 9 swings and misses out of 99 pitches, but boy, his control was good tonight, right? Like he was ahead in counts, I believe. Right here in front of me, 72 of 99 pitches landing for strike.
Ooh.
That's really good.
Yeah,
that's really good. That is, I believe, 8 of 11 pitches in the strike zone. That will absolutely be something that you take. And it's great to see. The thing about Castillo is when Gilbert doesn't have his swing and miss stuff, he's going to have some issues, right?
Yes.
I think that's true about George Kirby to an extent. Brian Wu, less of an extent, but we've seen it more. This guy's relying more on more strikeouts, right? Luis Castillo's that one guy that doesn't need to miss a lot of bats for you to feel like he's dominating that start.
And he changes the way he pitches if he has that or not.
100%. Yeah, I think he makes adjustments better than any pitcher on the staff, right?
Yeah.
And that's something he doesn't get nearly enough credit for, right? He doesn't get nearly enough credit for the fact that he figures out in those first few innings what works for him. It usually starts with a lot of fastballs, and if that's going to keep working, he's going to keep going with a lot of fastballs. Yeah. But that slider starts working, you start mixing it in more. If that change, which is the pitch that, frustrates some people because it was once dominant, now it's not quite at that same level and doesn't use it at that same level, but he'll still use it. He's willing to tinker. He's willing to tinker. And sometimes you hear the word tinker and you start thinking of a 48-year-old left-hander, right, who has got a little bit of a beer belly and he's the crafty lefty, right? That's the guy you start thinking of. No, Luis Castillo tinkers and could throw 97. That's special stuff. That's special stuff in terms of the arsenal, and it's special stuff in terms of his ability to do that, because a lot of pitchers can't do that.
Right.
A lot of pitchers cannot do that, especially from start to start. He does it from batter to batter, right?
He does.
That's really impressive. And, I'll just keep on saying it, that Luis Castillo remains one of the most underrated Seattle Mariners of all time. He doesn't get nearly enough credit for how good he has been since that trade, right? Yeah.
Well done. Well done. Yeah. I think you're right. I don't think that's hyperbolic whatsoever. I think people don't understand how good this guy has been and how consistent this guy has been. Just every single fifth day, he gives you a chance to win. Period. End of story. And there's very rare cases where that doesn't happen. And, I love the other pitchers on the staff, and they all dominate in their own special ways. But
absolutely.
And he's probably not as good as he was in 2022. And there's an argument to be like, he might be your 4th best pitcher. But I don't care. If that's your 4th best pitcher, thank you. So thank you.
So special, man. Yeah. And, how many times have we seen Luis Castillo get into the 7th inning now, right?
Yes. That's something that he does, that him and Brian Wu, both of them have done that a lot this year. Sure. The other two haven't, right?
Yeah. That's awesome. It's huge. It saves that bullpen on a day where the Mariners needed to save their bullpen too, right? Because I believe 19 different relievers pitched for the Seattle Mariners yesterday. So the fact that they were able to only use those 2, and we'll talk about both of them for sure, because they were pretty dang good.
Yeah, they were.
But the fact that he got you into that position, that he kept you in the game, right? While this offense scuffled, Luis Castillo kept you in the game and let that big moment happen.
Let's do a quick shout out to our sponsors. Then we'll talk about the offense and obviously Cal Raleigh's big moment, because I think it's mostly that. And then we'll talk about kind of what led up to that a little bit as well. But on the other side of the break, we'll get to the offensive side of the ball.
Sounds great.
We've all been there, logging on early and waiting forever for concert tickets to go on sale, only to lose your spot for a show you've been dying to see. Live music should be about making memories, not dealing with the stress of ticket shopping, and that's where Gametime comes in.
Gametime makes getting concert tickets faster and easier than ever. The prices actually drop as it gets closer to showtime, and you can save up to 60% off with their killer last-minute deals. Guys, sometimes there are concerts where you just want to be there, right? You just want to be there, and so you don't mind sitting in the nosebleeds. But then there are those concerts where it's like, I want something good. I want to have a nice seat to this thing. And maybe you can't afford that when the tickets first come out, right? Well, that's what Gametime does. It gives you that chance to wait for that bucket list moment and still get the ticket for a pretty cheap price. That's what I would definitely do when when Foghat goes back on tour. No, Foghat hasn't been on tour in a long time. That's what I would do. I would wait for game time to make sure that I get my dream seat, not get something that I'll regret that I'm sitting 500 rows back. But if you want to get those seats from 500 rows back too, Gametime can get them for you for pretty dang cheap too.
Take the guesswork out of buying concert and show tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download the Gametime app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks, the daily fantasy platform that lets you turn your football predictions into real rewards. Preseason is already heating up, and college football isn't far behind that. It's time. It's the perfect time right now to lock in your season-long, more or less picks for the 2025 football season, all before Week 1 kicks off.
Whether you've got your eye on big-name quarterbacks or breakout running backs, PrizePicks makes it easy to get in the game. It's the simplicity. It's the fact that you can get this done super quick with PrizePicks. Like, there are some apps where it takes a little bit of time, especially DFS, where you're like searching through stuff. Where am I going to find this stuff? Who is he playing? That's not all that information isn't always there. With PrizePicks, it's laid out super clean and get it done before your coffee finishes brewing.
Ooh, I like that. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after your first $5 play. PrizePicks, run your game. Welcome back to the Mariners Postcast. Anderson Hurst here, Christopher Crawford directly to my left. Mariners no, they didn't walk off. Sorry, not a walk-off win. But they get a pretty darn close to a walk-off win with Cal Raleigh in the 8th inning. Let's just jump right to that, and then we'll talk about the rest of it. Just for me, it's been a little slog to watch Cal Raleigh recently. I talked about this a little bit when I went solo a couple days ago, and you took the night off. To me, it just seems like yes, he's not hitting as many home runs, but the big thing that's not happening to me is he's not getting those singles and doubles to fall as much as he was earlier in the season. And that's the big reason why his numbers are taking a little bit of a plummet. I mean, plummet's a relative term compared to where they were in the first 2.5 months of the season. So, but he's still, I feel like he's still having good ABs, to be honest. It doesn't look like the guy's lost, quote unquote, at the plate or anything like that. And today, just a perfect moment to kind of break out of a slump, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I missed how the first 2 batters got on, and I was getting ready to come sit back down, and I saw Randy Arozarena just miss that homer. Missed that homer, and then pretty meek pop up, and you're thinking, oh boy.
JP had a line drive, and then I believe it was Cole Young that also had a kind of pulled ground ball base hit just past the second baseman. So you had first and second, one out for Randy. Yes.
For Randy. And he just misses on that homer and then pops out on a pitch that was hittable as well. But, it happens.
Yeah.
But, Cal had not played a very good game today. He was not having that type of stuff. And it's funny because that game you went solo dolo. I thought he actually played a really good game.
Yeah, he did. Right? Yeah, that's when he pulled the double to kind of break it open.
He pulls the double. He draws the walk. He steals the base. That's a pretty nice little day.
Yeah.
I think the thing with Cal Raleigh has just been regression in results, even though the process has been pretty good, man. How many full counts have we seen Cal Raleigh strike out in? Right? A lot. Now, he's missed pitches. There's no question about that. And in the month of August, coming into today, he had 23 at-bats. How many times do you think he struck out in those 23 at-bats?
12. I'll go half.
14.
Oh,
okay? That's bad.
Yeah.
That's really bad. And, we can talk about how strikeouts are just outs, but not a lot of good luck can happen when you strike out, right? And you can't get those infield singles, the sweet, sweet speed of Big Dumper. It just can't happen. But tonight was just a reminder of shut up. You know what I mean? That guy's talent is upper echelon. And sure, it's a bad 3 weeks. Maybe closer to a month, right?
Results bad.
Yeah, by the results. But the process has been there. And tonight was just a star moment. a star moment, the type of thing that if you somehow are watching this and you're an MVP voter, stuff like this matters.
Moments
Like this matters a lot. The Mariners do not win this game without Cal Raleigh. And, technically by wins above replacement, I guarantee he did not gain a win tonight, right?
No.
But he gave the Mariners a win tonight.
Yes.
So that's important. That is
WPA is going up big time.
Oh, it's so big. It's so big. And man, it's great to see those guys get on too, because the whole lineup tonight stunk. It was a bad effort against, and I already forgot who pitched for Tampa Bay tonight.
It was Rasmussen.
That's right. Local boy, Drew Rasmussen. And, Drew Rasmussen's not a
he's been pretty good. Yeah.
Not a bad pitcher at all. Tampa Bay's got some talented players. Junior Cavanero's got a chance to be a superstar.
He's fire.
But man, just the difference in mood that you have from that win. The difference in mood you have from one swing of the bat. It's incomparable to any other sport. It just really is, right? Like, even in basketball, like if you have the pull-up three-pointer or something like that, right? That only happens if everything's close in between, right?
Right.
The last second touchdown pass. That only happens if things are close. I know the Mariners were technically only down 2 runs. It felt like they were down by like an infinity stone, right?
The only reason you weren't is because of Luis Castillo.
Exactly. And they were thoroughly outplayed. Yeah. But one person, all due respect to the guys who gets hits in front of him, one person is the reason why you win this baseball game.
Yeah. It's a great way to put it. Could not have said it any better. Great call by Aaron Goldsmith, by the way. Quick shout out to him because he could tell as soon as it was off his bat.
Perfect call.
And
Perfect call.
I was screaming in my seat here. I was like, unfortunately, I was scrambling a little bit because I had the stream basically all ready to go. A little peek behind the curtain. I have to set everything up beforehand, kind of predicting what's going to happen. Be like, all right, Mariners lost. Then that happens, and I have to quickly change everything. So that's why we're a couple minutes late to going live today. But I will gladly sacrifice my time a little bit to make sure the Mariners win. So I'll take the L on that one to make sure we get the dub tonight. But let's talk about the offense leading up to that point. So I was about ready to come in and be like, did anything good happen today?
Donovan Solano, that's the one thing that I thought.
Randy gets 2 hits.
Those 2 guys looked fine. Julio had a bad day. Polanco had a bad day.
Suarez, bad day. Canzone, bad day.
Canzone, a bad day. And then again, that ball. I'm so glad that they win this game because if we're talking about this being a 1-run loss or the game still tied, we're talking about that play from Canzone. But it was not good. It was not good. And, I will say, like, this lineup doesn't look as good without Josh Naylor. It just doesn't. And of course it doesn't, right? But, like, I think it may be more substantial than everyone thinks. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, there's something about the way he's playing right now, and it lengthens that lineup so much. But I'll just give you my unsung hero right now. I'll go with Solano because a guy who hadn't started since February 4th of 1984 had a pretty good game, right? Like, it was nice to see him do a nice job at the plate. Because I'll be honest, that at bat that he had yesterday was dreadful. Yeah. Dreadful. And I was like, oh boy, we may have to talk about like a lead up here where he might be that Donovan Solano that we saw in the early portion. But no, he did a really nice job tonight. So that's my unsung hero. Yeah,
I think it's a good shout. I'm going to go with Matt Brash because
filthy
in a spot that he has never been. He only has 8 saves in his career. That's weird to me. I feel like he would have had a lot more, but I get it. You've been behind Munoz for most of your career. Sure. I saw a few people at the top of the show saying closer controversy. No, guys, Munoz was down tonight. Okay, you realize he had pitched the 2 previous nights and looked pretty dang good last night. So it's just the way it worked. Like, honestly, I am usually in favor of those teams that don't even have a specific closer. Matchups or who has more rest. Like, you just having more higher leverage guys is good. Period. End of story. I don't care if they're all closers or whatever, and one of them has to drop back and whatever. But for someone who has not been in that situation very many times, Matt Brash looked awesome tonight. He does get to a 3-ball count against all 3.
I believe all 3 had 3-ball counts, right? Because He throws 10 of 19 pitches for strikes. And what was big there, though, was that putting anybody on base there was going to be massive, right? Because those are big boy hitters that he was facing too. Those are guys all capable of taking the ball out of the park. And all three, I believe it was all three full counts.
Yep.
He threw something absolutely disgusting to finish off the hitters. He was terrific. His stuff's as good as any pitcher in baseball. Not starter, not reliever, not anything. Just any pitcher. Yeah. Matt Brash has as good of stuff as any pitcher in baseball. And what has encouraged me is these last 2 games, the strikeouts have been there. Strikeouts have been there. It's great that he's initiated a lot of weak contact along the way too. Yeah. But I want Matt Brash striking mother people out. Whoa. I want Matt Brash. Yeah, I can edit myself a little bit. I want him striking those fools out because there's just a difference. And it's nice not to have to rely on a defense. It's nice to know that Dominic Canzone can't catch fly balls if you don't put the ball into play, right? Like that is.
Let's talk about that real quick.
Oh my God. Get well, Victor Robles, man. And it's not because we talked about it yesterday, right?
Dom has the walk-off yesterday.
Gets the walk-off hit. It's nothing against him offensively. He is a bad defensive player. He's a bad defensive player. And because you have the guy in center field that you do, you can get away with some of it. But if Josh Naylor was to miss significant amount of time, my move would be to move Dom Canzone to first base. And hopefully it sounds like we're going to get Victor Robles back, which is kind of crazy,
weird,
right? Because we didn't think that was going to happen.
Luke Raley's also at AAA today. So
right. That's right. So, and Luke Raley's not a good defensive player either. So
I'd rather have him
not
right
as bad as
field
Dom
first
Canzone.
base.
He's not as bad as Dom Canzone. Here's hoping this is all nothing and it's just speculative because but Dom Canzone is somebody. Dom Canzone played first base at Ohio State and was actually pretty darn good there. He was a guy that the Diamondbacks thought they could play in the outfield, and I get it. That's what. But it is very difficult.
Is it a lack of athleticism for him in right field? Yes. Is it just you can't?
It's a lack of athleticism and it's a lack of range. Yeah. It's a lack of just or you know what else it is? Lack of instincts. You know what I mean?
Like there's just
things that you can't really teach there. Yeah. I think that Dom Canzone is helping the Mariners a lot more than hurting them.
Absolutely.
Huge hit yesterday, right? But boy, we need Josh Naylor to be back.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. And for those who didn't see, it was reported that earlier today, Naylor said himself that his shoulder feels fine and he should be okay. So I don't know if that's him just saying it or if, they asked Dan Wilson if he would have been available for a pinch hit situation. He says probably was his exact words for today.
Interesting.
So to me, that sounds like they're just kind of holding him off a couple extra days. If he plays this series, I'm not worried at all. They have a day off Monday. He could take the full series off if they really wanted to be careful and then just come back on Tuesday. That's probably what I see happening, but we'll see what ends up, playing out.
Here's hoping, man. He's just such a big part of their offense. He's and I've just been so impressed with what he's done. But again, I don't want to go too crazy about Dom stuff. But it almost really hurts you. It almost really hurts you. But Cal, big booty dumper, did what we needed him to do, man. That is
he did. That's the story of tonight. Cal and Luis, those are the guys. Sometimes all you need is two guys playing well, and you can win a baseball game, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. Like, baseball is a team sport, and then sometimes it's not. And here's the thing, too, about baseball, just real quick. Baseball is the most team sport, and then in some ways it's the most not team sport at all because it comes down to individual moments and individual pitcher versus hitter. Yeah. Fielder versus whatever, the fielder has to make that play. It all becomes individual. It's not it's not a case of the offensive line having to gel together, right? It's not about the center. I'm doing a lot of multi-sport comparisons today.
Sure, why not?
Let's go. It's not about center coming up to set a pick for the point guard, right? It is all individual moments.
It's one-on-one matchups.
But it's one-on-one constantly. And today, Cal Raleigh made it one of the, by the way, Has anyone else noticed that Cal Raleigh kind of looks like Luka Doncic?
There's the shout, especially when Luka Doncic's a little pudgy, you know.
Well, he's lost a lot of weight. I don't know if you've seen Luka lately.
I have seen that.
Is anyone else in the chat?
Check out Locked On NBA for more updates on Luka Doncic and his weight.
I got it. He does. That's all I need. That's all I need. He does. It's just fun to win games like this. It's fun. You're 11 games over 500 now, right? Like you're on pace to have a pretty dang good season. This is fun.
Yeah, quick little rundown throughout what happened elsewhere. The Astros beat the Yankees in extra innings. Taylor Trammell, that's a home run, of course. Against Devin Williams, the Yankees' free fall continues. I think they might lose out on a wild card spot personally, but that's just me.
That's crazy.
Texas also loses. So now the Mariners are firmly in wild card 2 games up on the Yankees for the last wild card spot, and still remain, was it game and a half back of Houston, I want to say? Or is it 2 games? It's game and a half. Game and a half. So you don't lose any ground on Houston, and you do gain ground on New York. I actually think that's, if you're talking all scenarios, I think that's probably the best case right there, because your bottom half, you gain some ground there, and you're not losing anything up here. I don't know. I always root for the Astros to lose too, so I would have been happy either way. But anyways,
want to hear something irresponsible?
Go ahead.
It's 49. Seattle Mariners magic number to win the AL West.
Don't
49.
Don't
49.
do that. Don't do that.
49.
That's very irresponsible.
You know what? Thanks. I'm gonna give it after every game now.
You're grounded. You are absolutely grounded. That is very
49, folks. 49 wins. That's all you need.
Is that your last word? Quickly before we leave. Ty and Colby had an excellent conversation with Gary Hill Jr. on today's Locked On Mariners episode. If you're looking for more Mariners content, please go check that out. It was great stuff. I think I love Gary Hill. He's probably one of my favorite Mariners broadcast people. I have a great relationship with him personally, and he's great on the air too. So they had an awesome conversation with him. Please go check that out if you get a chance. You can find it anywhere you get your podcasts, or on, of course, the YouTube channel as well. Just go back to the page and you'll see it. Like the video if you haven't already, really helps us out. If you missed any part of today's episode, you can find it on the podcast later tonight, or just rewatch the video, because we like seeing you guys here. So really appreciate everyone hanging out with us. Chris, last words. Do not say 49.
50 minus 1.